the Dons to everybody, but he was really excited that you'd be the one across from him in enemy territory today. So how cool is it going to be to get to see him pitch and not be teammates?
Yeah, well, I love Max and hope we win tonight and beat him, but we go back to 2008, teammates in AAA, and then I signed back with the Tigers. He got traded over to the Tigers and spent 6 years there together as locker mates right next to each other. I think the world of them. Just looking back, what he's been able to accomplish from, knowing him in 2008 in AAA and the way that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's earned every bit of it.
Do you feel like you have any insight on him to help your offense today against a guy like that?
Well, we need to be ready to compete.
Yeah.
Because you know that he's going to be out there competing as well, and just find a way to grind some at-bats out and get pitches over the middle like we've talked about with other guys, but he's going to try to attack and get ahead in the count, and we need to be ready for that.
Is it kind of cool to see the fact that he's facing off against Keller, knowing the meeting you guys had years ago?
Shoot, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was that's interesting. That was a really cool moment. Like we talked about, it was cool that I was able to be a fly on the wall in that. But yeah, really interesting side note. That's cool.
Is something wrong with him?
Is what?
Is something wrong with him? Like when he's on the mound, like that's a different sort of.
With Max?
Yes.
The intensity?
Yeah, well, that's.
There's something always wrong.
Right. It's beyond intensity. It borders into insanity.
That sounds like the competitiveness that he's got to be able to continue to do what he's doing at that age and have the stuff and the fire. Like he loves to compete. He wants to win. Hopefully he doesn't tonight. Mm-hmm. And we need to match that.
The last 2 weeks you've managed a team against two of your old teammates in Scherzer and Verlander. What's it like for you to be managing a big league ball club and facing off against guys who are friends of yours and were your teammates at one point?
Yeah, it's really cool to see, what they've been able to accomplish. Obviously, we're talking about, like I said, 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, and to have been teammates with them. On the competitive side, once the game starts, there's no more friends. You're going out there to win and find a way to, like I said, compete and win the baseball game. And then, I'm sure tomorrow we'll catch up and talk or whatever. But in the heat of the moment, like, you're going out there to compete to win.
Do you see an advantage in that? Like, just having seen them and seeing what they've been able to do throughout their careers from a different perspective?
You know what? It's that the part that I want our guys to know is just we need to stay within what we're trying to do and not let the name on the back of the jersey be intimidating by any means. Go out there and compete and find a way to, like I said, when we get a pitch over the heart of the plate, move it, do something with it, attack it, and because you know that he's going to be attacking the zone too.
What's it say about those guys? They're in their 40s and still playing and still effective. I know Justin's record isn't good, but it belies how well he's pitched, and Max is still a very formidable foe after all these years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, the 2 games that Justin pitched against us, I think we only allowed 1 run in both, and really he pitched really well, but he didn't get the win in either one. I know we won the one here. Max, for them to be able to do what they're doing at that age, there's probably there's crazy competitive in there, and saw that with Max and Justin as teammates too. They competed with and against each other as teammates, and it was healthy. There was a drive that came from each other, that drove the other one to be better, I think, and that's what good teammates do is make you be better every single day. How do we take on that mindset and that mantra of helping each other be better every day? And I think that Justin and Max did that.
Is he always watching the games as intently as he watched Paul yesterday? I don't know if you've seen what he was doing. Obviously, you were focused differently, but he was like bent down, crouching, peeking through the dugout rails, like staring at him. Is he always watching games like that, or was yesterday maybe?
No, he's a student of the game. Max is really smart. He was really into the analytics, the numbers, the understanding why things are the way they are, and he knew his stuff was elite, and he challenged himself to get better through some of that stuff. So I'm sure he's always watching, always dissecting, and I'm sure that he was watching Paul intently.
when I was talking to him yesterday, he said what he appreciated a lot of things about you, first and foremost as a leader, as a human being, but talked about how as a manager, he said he's sure you're blending a lot of the old school just baseball stuff with a lot of the new age stuff, and that's what he respects about you. Have you learned any of that about yourself through this journey of what side of it you gravitate towards, or is there a balance?
It's a balance, and sometimes you're always trying to figure out what's the best decision. How do we put the players in the best position possible to help the team win, and how do we balance both sides, taking objective and subjective and new school, old school, and putting it all together. And Max was really at the forefront of that. He was thinking about that stuff way back in 2010, 11, 12 when he was pitching with the Tigers and trying to understand some of that.
Oviedo, Locker, does that mean anything for tomorrow?
Yeah, so Oviedo will start for us tomorrow. He'll be here and start tomorrow, and then we'll have follow-up moves later.
What are you looking forward to seeing from him, considering last time out probably a little shaky with the first time back in the big leagues?
Really, it was shaky. I think going through what he went through with the Tommy John, the lat, the fight that it takes, the journey to get back, he was so amped up. And honestly, what happened was not planned from him, first of all, but then from us. We were just in a spot that we had to make a move, and we had to get a fresh pitcher up. And Ovi was a guy that went down. Really proud of him. He went down, handled what he needed to do with the competitiveness that he consistently shows, and just really proud of the way that he handled that, because it's not easy to do, going through that whole journey to get back here, and then you pitch one inning, doesn't go the way that you planned, and you find yourself back in AAA. But he was a pro about it, went down and did what he needed to do, and looking forward to him starting tomorrow.
Assuming all goes well, not to get too far ahead of it, is that a spot that you would like for him to anchor the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead. I think that looking to tomorrow and then continuing to map out exactly what that is going to look like. And it's probably going to be hard to plan from now until the end of September, how we adjust, adapt. We've talked about some guys that may be on some innings limits, and how we continue to adjust that will be fluid as we go.
So just be sure a roster move will be made ahead of tomorrow's game, but he's not activated yet.
Correct.
You have Ronnie in left field tonight. You moved him around between left field and right field. Is that the plan, at least for right now? Just have him be like either in either position in the outfield? Yeah,
he'll go back and forth between the two, really depending on Reynolds. If Reynolds is going to play, he'll be in right. And then Tommy's been so good in left, so just dependent on who else is in the game at the same time.
How do you think Jared over the last 15 games at the plate, especially? It seems like he's kind of caught a rhythm on the plate.
Yeah, he's getting into a good rhythm, having great at bats. I mean, yesterday, 3 walks, I think, and running the bases really well, playing great defense, and swinging the bat. Yeah, like we talked about, he's swung the bat pretty good all year, just hadn't had a lot to show for it, starting to get a little more results now. Just looking forward to him getting more consistent playing time and having some more rhythm and consistency in the results too.
Do you think that has kind of helped in a way, just being able to develop rhythm, being in the lineup every day, being on the field every day?
It certainly does. I think it's hard when you're not playing every day. It's really hard to keep that rhythm and timing, and keep it going when it's sporadic playing time.
I know Canario been through a pretty rough stretch here the last month or two. How much does it help for him to get an RBI last night and be in the middle of the winning rally? I mean, just from a morale standpoint, to know he contributed.
Yeah, big time last night, getting the RBI, getting when he got on base, the big stolen base there, forced the error, and I can't say enough about him, the way that he's gotten better in the outfield, playing center field, running balls down. He continues to work hard every single day, and it was a big part of the win last night.
Is he still young enough to be intriguing? Like that there's more in there than what you guys have seen this year? Yeah, for sure. And when you sit there and you see the power, you see the numbers that he's put up in AAA and in the minor leagues, there's a really good bat there. And just trying to find a way for him to be consistent and stay with the contact portion. I know he's only been here a few days, but Ronnie Simon, what have you thought of him from what little bit you've been able to see of him so far?
Energetic,
yeah.
The way that he bounces around, and you see the speed. I mean, the first at bat that he had, ground ball that the third baseman cut off and threw, and he almost beat it. If that gets by the third baseman, he's going to beat that ball out. And just the way he's played the game has been, it's contagious. You know, when you get a guy with that type of energy that plays with that type of passion.
Thanks, Johan.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.